Biscuit King, open at 5 a.m. for breakfast and lunch. Breakfast platters with grits, hash browns, and eggs cooked your way. Pancakes, fluffy omelets, fresh baked biscuits piled high with all your favorites like country ham, sausage, bacon, fried chicken, and pork tenderloin. Drive-through, dine-in, or save time and order online. Biscuit King in Lexington and High Point, breakfast and lunch all day, every day. You need this in your life. Biscuit King, home of the good enormous biscuit.
It's a kind of magic.
Live from the Twin City.
It's a kind of magic.
It's Triad Today with Jeffrey Griffin.
Today is National Sober Day.
Well, I'm sober.
I'm sober now.
Do you like alcohol?
Alcohol? I don't drink alcohol.
Today to celebrate sobriety and bring awareness to addiction.
I give up drink.
I don't drink alcohol.
Giving up drinking.
Give up drinking and try out.
I'm sober. 6 months.
I'm actually sober.
I'm sober now.
National Sober Day.
What about your sobriety?
Sobriety is bliss.
It's showtime!
Good morning. I am Jill Berlin, and you are listening to the Jill Berlin Show on WSJS News Talk Sports for the Triad. We can be heard over the air online at WSJS.com or on my website, RSVP65.com. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and if you're new to the show, I am your licensed health insurance broker, and you can email me with questions. I love hearing from you, Jill at RSVP65.com. And you can find more information about my company or me on my website, RSVP65.com. And today we are going to talk about our guest on Jill's Heroes in the second half hour of the show. He actually is a driver in the Monster Jam. So if you've ever been to the Monster Jam, he's one of the drivers, and he's got a big charity event that's coming up that he's a big part of. And so I'm really excited about this guest. All right, we're also going to have our health feature segment. But first, we will start with our inspirational quote of the day. All right, this is by Dr. Maya Angelou. It's a good one. You are the sum total of everything you've ever seen, heard, eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all there. Everything influences each of us. And because of that, I try to make sure that my experiences are positive. Isn't that a good one? Don't you love that, Christian? It's such a good quote. All right. So that's the great thing about Dr. Maya Angelou. She was just always trying to do good. And that is something that I think is so important. And I also, something else that I've been incorporating in the show is the weather. Because fun fact, I used to be in broadcasting. And one of the things that people love to watch is the weather. Everyone wants to know how to dress for the weather. Well, today it's going to be 80. So that's good. And then tomorrow, Friday, we're going to have a high of 79. And then Saturday, low 80s. And then Sunday, small chance of rain, but also 80, which I am glad for the temperatures to be going down. All right. Something else that is happening is open enrollment season is coming. And we will know all of the plans for those 65 and older on October 1st. So here are some things that you should know, though, in advance. You should start to be thinking about these things. Which is right for you, an HMO or a PPO? Because there's a lot of decisions when it comes to making a choice for health insurance plans. And one of the first decisions you'll want to make is which type of plan is right for you. So what is the difference? Well, let's start with what is an HMO. HMO stands for Health Maintenance Organization. Okay. So you have a network of doctors, hospitals, and other healthcare providers who provide their services for a specific payment, which allows the HMO to maintain costs for its members. And that cost and choice are the two features that set HMOs apart from other healthcare plans. So those doctors, you have to go to the doctors that are in network. So what is a PPO? Well, a PPO stands for Preferred Provider Organization, and it offers a network of healthcare providers to use for your medical care at a certain rate. So unlike the HMO, a PPO offers you the freedom to receive care from any healthcare provider in or out of your network. Okay. So here's the difference with HMO versus PPO plans. Which one is cheaper? Which one provides the coverage you need? Well, to help you decide, we have created a little comparison chart here, and I'm going to go through it. All right. So, how much here? I'm just going to go through some of the questions that I usually get. How much will this plan cost? All right. So, with an HMO, the Health Maintenance Organization, it is the lower cost. So, HMO plans typically have lower monthly premiums, and you can also expect to pay less out of pocket. So, your max out of pocket that you will spend is typically lower. All right. With a PPO, they tend to have higher monthly premiums, although that is something that you're going to want to explore with a health insurance agent and something that I can help you with and see if those monthly premiums are still higher for 2024 or are they better, because that is something that you'll want to know so that you can find out if there's flexibility to use providers both in and out of network without a referral. So those out of pocket medical costs with a PPO, though, can also run higher. Okay. All right. So, do I have to use a primary care physician? The answer is with an HMO, yes, you do. With most HMO plans, all of your healthcare services are coordinated by your designated PCP or primary care physician. What about a PPO? Do I have to use a primary care physician with my PPO? No. PPO plans do not require referrals for any services. That is something that's considered a huge bonus, because if you need services, right away, um, and you have to wait for your health insurance plan to go through, that can delay surgery. It can delay a lot of things. So, do I have to get referrals to use another doctor with an HMO? Yes. You must first schedule an appointment with your PCP, and they will provide a referral to an in network specialist. Do you have to do that with a PPO plan? No. All right. If I have a doctor or a specialist who is out of network, will I still be able to see him or her and have the cost covered? With an HMO, no. So HMOs don't offer coverage for care from out of network healthcare providers. The only exception, this is the only exception, is if it's a true medical emergency. And that's it. And that's across any state. It's not just within your state. That's within any state. So the only time that it's covered with an HMO is if there's a true medical emergency. All right. So again, PPO, if I have a doctor or specialist who is out of network, will I still be able to see him or her and have the cost covered? With a PPO? Yes. So with a PPO, you do have the flexibility to visit providers outside of your network. However, do note visiting an out of network provider will include a higher fee and a separate deductible. Okay, that's important to note. It is a separate deductible. All right, so will I need to file claims? Well, that's pretty simple. With an HMO, the answer is no, since HMOs only allowed you to visit in network providers. So it's likely you'll never have to file a claim because your insurance company pays the provider directly. Now, will I need to file claims with a PPO? Yes. In some cases, you will have to pay a doctor for services directly and then file a claim to get reimbursed. And that's the most common. This is most common when you seek services from out of network providers. But that's something, again, myself, an agent, can help you with, is making sure that you file those and get your services covered. And then the other thing, too, is that a lot of times the HMOs have different or separate benefits, such as like the over-the-counter credit. But you also see with the PPOs, those Part B buybacks. So that's something else to consider. All right. So another thing to consider, with just since we're talking about, money in general and how your money's going to get spent with your Medicare, is you want to think about if you qualify or not for extra help. Okay. And the reason why this is a big deal is because in 2024, there's just so many changes coming in 2024. It's kind of hard to keep up with them all. All right. So in 2024, this is a good thing. The state low income subsidy benchmark, those premium amounts, those are actually going to increase. So there's about 30 regions where there will be an increase in their benchmark premium, and North Carolina is one of them. So the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, released this, and the 2024 low income premium subsidy amounts for Medicare Part D. So in North Carolina, in 2021, it was $30.34. And the subsidy in 2022 is $35.82. In 2023, now, it was $38.38. And in 2024, the subsidy is going to be $46.89. So, how many Medicare Part D plans offered each year that qualify for the $0 premium? Well, the number of standalone Medicare Part D plans changes each year. And so that's why these are numbers that we look at and see if they're decreasing or increasing. And as we just said, that it is increasing. And so with 2024, there is an expansion of the Medicare Part D extra help benefit. So why is this important? Well, for the plan year 2024 and beyond, the Inflation Reduction Act, IRA of 2022, expands the full LIS benefit qualifications to 150% of the federal poverty level. And so what that means is that there are more people who are going to qualify. And we're going to tell you how and what to do when we come back. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Jill Berlin Show.
The Triad's news, talk, and sports leader is WSJS, leading the way with the latest news, sports, weather, and the best talk. When the Triad needs to know, the Triad turns to the leader. News, talk, sports for the Triad.
We worship you, oh fearless leader.
The station you can depend on. WSJS and WSJS.com.
As many as 1 in 44 children might be diagnosed with autism in the United States. And on Saturday, September the 23rd, you can make a big difference in the lives of people with autism, their families, and their communities by registering for the Triad Run Walk for Autism 2023. The Triad Run Walk will be at JC Park in Greensboro and includes a competitive 5K and a fun run walk. If you can't make it that day, become a virtual participant. Do your part to improve the lives of children and adults with autism on Saturday, September the 23rd. For all the details, visit triadrunwalkforautism.com.
Honey, the garage door is making this weird noise.
Precision Garage Door, your local experts. They can spot these type of issues that you might not be able to see. Just like anything mechanical, your garage door might start making some noises, and you're better off finding out what is causing that noise. Precision Garage Door has free service calls with any repair. They can make your garage door run smoothly in a single day. Your garage door should make your life easier. Schedule your appointment today, PrecisionDoorNC.com.
It's Mackmore, Budget Blinds of North Winston-Salem and Mount Airy. We know safety is important when choosing window coverings, so let's hear from one of our younger clients about our certified best for kids options.
Hi, I'm Millie. This is my imaginary dog, Wishbone. Ruff, ruff. Wishbone barks when something is scary. Ruff. He used to bark at the windows in my room because my old blinds had strings. Ruff. Wishbone said that was dangerous. Ruff. What Mommy and Daddy called budget blinds. I have new shades now. Mom said the new ones are cordless. The Wishbone doesn't bark at them anymore. He still barks at my brother though. Ruff, ruff. He's not dangerous, but he is stinky. Ruff.
Thanks, Millie. And Wishbone. Call today for your complimentary consultation and let us make your home or office safer for the ones you love. Budget Blinds of North Winston-Salem and Mount Airy. BudgetBlinds.com.
This afternoon at 3, it's The Drive with Josh Graham.
Let's get the show going.
Now back to Jeffrey Griffin and Triad Today.
All
and welcome back. You are listening to the Jill Berlin Show on WSJS News Talk Sports for the Triad. We can be heard over the air online at WSJS.com or on my website, RSVP65.com. And I'd love to hear from you. Email me, Jill at RSVP65.com. All right. So we are talking about Medicare Part D extra help. And for the plan year 2024, the full LIS benefit has actually been expanded. So those qualifying for extra help to pay for their drug costs is expanding. So usually in the past, what has happened, those folks who would qualify for the partial LIS status were the ones who were anywhere between 135% to 150% of the federal poverty level. However, that has actually been eliminated because of the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. So those people who would otherwise qualify for only partial LIS status will now qualify for full LIS benefits in 2024, and the partial LIS benefit level will be eliminated. So that's a really good thing, because essentially what's going to happen is folks who may not be getting as much money can qualify for more. So here's the deal. Who should complete this application for extra help, and where did they go? I'll answer that. So you can go to secure.ssa.gov. All right. And then when you get to that page, you'll see it's the Social Security page, and it'll show you that there's extra help with Medicare prescription drug plan costs. And there's a big sign up there that says welcome with an exclamation point. And then it talks about how the Medicare prescription drug program gives you a choice of prescription plans, and it offers various types of coverage. And so then it starts to go through the application, and it says you should complete this application for extra help on the internet if, and this is the who should complete this. And that here are the bullet points to kind of go through the checklist. If you have Medicare Part A and or Medicare Part B, okay? You also have to live in one of the 50 states, obviously, or the District of Columbia. And your combined saving, investments, and real estate are not worth more than $33,000 to or $33,240 if you're married. Now, if you're living with your spouse. Now, if you're single, your savings, investments, and real estate are not worth more than $16,660. All right. So you do not count your home vehicles. You do not count your personal possessions. You do not count your life insurance, burial plots, or irrevocable burial contracts, or back payments from Social Security or SSI. So if you have more than those amounts, you may not qualify for the extra help. Okay. So about, $33,000, give or take, $16,000, give or take. However, you still can enroll in an improved Medicare prescription drug plan, of course, for coverage. Now, here's the deal. Those numbers will change for 2024. Okay. But for now, that's what it is for 2023. And so to get extra help with the Medicare prescription drug plan costs, you must complete and submit an application. And then the application is reviewed. And then in a couple weeks, you are able to hear whether or not you qualify for the extra help. Now, you can go and apply immediately online for this, and then you can get the extra help right away. You can also, if you're not sure if you should use this, or if you want to find out if you qualify, then there's also a tab that you can hit that says find out if you qualify. And so just to kind of put this in your back of your mind, and the only reason why I'm talking about this so much is because, like I said, this is expanding for 2024. The amount of people who qualify for extra help is expanding. So you could be paying less for your prescription drugs. All right. So to determine if you could be eligible for extra help, here are just some of the documents that you're going to need to kind of help prepare you for when you go online to, fill this stuff out on secureSSA.gov. Okay. So you'll need your Social Security card. You will need bank account statements, including checking, savings, certificates of deposit. You will also need your individual retirement accounts, IRAs, so stocks, bonds, savings, mutual funds, other investment statements. You will also need your tax returns, payroll slips, and your most recent Social Security benefits, award letters, or statements from railroad retirement benefits, veteran benefits, pensions and annuities, things like that. And so, if you have this information, then it's going to help you complete the application more efficiently, and then it will also help see if you qualify for some of this extra help. And if you apply right away, the information you enter will be saved. And then whatever you enter, it doesn't affect your benefits decision. You can change your financial information if you see that you did something wrong. You can go back and make some changes. Um, so when you've completed the application, though, you will get a full summary of the information you entered, and again, you can make changes, prior to submitting it. And but do know that there are they say for security reasons, but there are time limits. Okay, so on each page, you'll receive a warning after 25 minutes, but you can extend your time. So after the third warning on a page, you must move to another page. And actually, I just learned this last night when going to my kids' parents' night at school, that children have attention spans for about 15 minutes, and adults have an attention span for, guess how long, Christian? Any guesses?
5 minutes.
Actually, about 20 to 25 minutes.
I was way off.
Yep. So that's a little fun fact for you. So I don't know how many people are still paying attention to the show, but we'll try and keep it edgy for you so that you can still want to pay attention and listen. So once again, we're just talking about the low income subsidy benchmark premium amounts because that is increasing for 2024. And so that is something that you want to go online and look to see if you are, that's something that you qualify for. And something else that I have been talking to some folks about is that when you do talk to a health insurance agent, or you can obviously talk to me, make sure you're also telling them, you're saying, hey, do I qualify for extra help? Or is this something, can I get extra help in paying for these costs or not? Okay, because it's not automatic that they will bring it up with you. All right, you guys, stay tuned. We have got a great guest in studio. I am so excited about this. You are not going to want to miss it. We really appreciate you listening. You are listening to The Jill Berlin Show on WSJS News Talk Sports for the Triad.
And so when I started getting these messages from these families saying, you know, I think the very first one was from a little boy that his name was Ollie, and Ollie he loved Mohawk Warrior, and he wanted to get his hair cut into a mohawk before they shaved it all off from the radiation treatments. And so, you know, when I get that message saying he wanted to be Mohawk Warrior for a day, you can't not be moved by something like that. And so because we saw there was so much downtime when we were experiencing that over at Brenner Children's Hospital, you know, that was my first question. Hey, how does Ollie pass the time? And they said, well, he loves building Legos. I said, oh, we can fix that. So I put a message out to my followers. You know, here I've got this cool platform which comes with social media followers and stuff like that typically. And I said, hey, let's put anyone want to send some Legos, bring them to me. We are going to just pack Ollie full of Lego sets. And that's exactly what happened. I got about 15 Lego sets that we went and hand delivered to Ollie. And it was such an amazing experience because he just got to be a kid again. And that's what these kids really deserve to be, is they just deserve to be kids. They shouldn't be going through this terrible chapter, and they need to know that there's support, and we want to be that support.
Right. And now last year, didn't you nearly won you were like this close to winning the national championship, right?
Yes. Oh, I feel like that's been the story of my life.
Well, here's the deal. You were that close, right?
Yeah.
Now you go and give these Legos to Ollie. You talk about the different highs there because, you know, you obviously get a high from what you do and your real job, right? But there's obviously too a high with giving back. And I appreciate the fact that you use what you do to help others.
Well, I just wrote a book, believe it or not, and it's coming out Tuesday.
I believe it.
It's called, oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if it's on the web, then it's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
The book is called Geared for Life. And the book is all about finding specific gears in life. I don't think there's secrets to life. I believe that there are gears, and our gears are our foundational beliefs. And I don't think that as society, we're good enough at finding the right gear at the right time and knowing when to go into that gear. And so I say that not for a shameless book plug, but because when I'm driving the truck, that's a specific gear that I find. And then all of a sudden, if I'm disappointed, it happened 2 months ago at the World Finals in Nashville for Monster Jam, where I was heartbroken at the result of what happened. And I was mad, right? I had an emotional reaction to it. I expected better. I expected to win.
Well, you worked hard for that win.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't happen, you ask why.
That's right. And how could this be part of the story? Well, at some point, you got to suck it up and shift into a more purposeful gear. And I've got a gear that I call becoming built for others. Well, I made myself go back in the locker room, right? Put my helmet away and again, say, you know what? Yeah, you're disappointed. This isn't the way that you thought that the story was going to be written, but let's find this other gear being built for other people. Go into the stadium, be the loudest cheerleader. Because even though you just had a terrible day, one of your buddies is about to have the best day of his life and win a championship. Why don't you go be the loudest cheerleader in that stadium? And that's exactly what happened when Colt Stevens, who ended up winning the freestyle championship, was up on the platform and where we had the trophy presentation and his name was announced that he was officially the winner. I was the first guy. I gave him the biggest hug of the night. I was cheering for him. I was excited for my friend, but I had to make that conscious decision to shift into that gear. And that's what I believe life should be about. So whether I'm driving the truck, whether I'm helping a family, or whether I'm just working my guts out to put on the Warrior Rally this Saturday, you know, you got to shift into that gear and know when the right time is to find that gear. And that's what we've been doing.
And it's a choice. It's a choice.
Yep.
So tell us what exactly is going to happen this Saturday, because I know that there's listeners out there who are interested. They want to attend, they want to get involved, but they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Where to go?
Well, first off, go to livelikewarriors.com. That's where we've been funneling all the information. And we do have a Facebook event page as well it's all the latest and greatest updates. But you know, this Warrior Rally is going to start at 9 a.m., go to really 8 p.m., but there's a couple key segments through there. So I don't care if you got soccer games and baseball games at 11 o'clock, go play the game and then come out to the Warrior Rally in Kernersville. But that morning we've got a huge cruise in, and we have some of the coolest cars in the entire state of North Carolina that are coming. We're expecting about 600 to 700 cruise-in cars that morning. We've got live music all afternoon, so bring a chair and hang out with us. And food trucks. We've even got RC cars coming out. I had a company that builds these Jill, these RC cars, the way they're building them are ridiculous.
No, I know. My boys, they are into some of them, and then they drive them around, and I get scared.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't run into my ankles.
Oh gosh,
I wanna
yeah.
keep
Ooh,
them.
that would be a
Don't clip
shin
'em.
breaker.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I need shin guards.
yeah,
like,
you
while
do.
they're driving around.
Yeah, we could probably hook those up. Maybe some Mohawk Warrior themed ones. But everything is free except for the food trucks. I can't buy lunch for 5,000 people that day.
Yeah,
But
well,
even the
maybe next
RC
year.
cars, come out there and demo the cars, and then we're ending the entire day from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock with a worship night. So we are celebrating these warriors. Each of our different sections out there are dedicated to one of these different warriors that we've helped. And we want to inspire people to, you know what, if you've been hit hard by life, choose to hit back. Be warriors yourself. And then we want to introduce them to the true warrior in Jesus Christ that night from 6 to 8 o'clock. So if you can come out for an hour, if you can come out for the whole day, come out to Triad Baptist Church in the parking lots right across from the big Walmart and Chick-fil-A in Kernersville, and to have some fun with us. We're going to make memories. We're going to make an impact. And that's really what this Warrior Rally is all about.
Why Kernersville?
That's for where I'm from.
That's
yeah.
K-Vegas.
That's right. K-Vegas, baby. Yeah, I grew up in High Point, and my wife and 3 kids live in Kernersville for the last 8 years. And man, it's the hub, right? It's truly the heart of the Triad. And that's what I want. I want Winston-Salem, Kernersville, High Point, Greensboro. I want everyone to come out to that centralized.
And that's such a good message that you're providing for your kiddos too, about helping and giving to others. And so, obviously once you pass having 2 kids, you're outnumbered with that third. So my question was that third kid on purpose?
Oh, I see. On purpose is probably a strong way to describe it. But you're right. The third child, she's 2 years old and she thinks she's 13 and runs the house.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a blessing and also keeps us on our toes.
Yeah, it's so funny because, people who have multiple kids, I always say, there's something with that last one. I don't know. How many siblings did you grow up
I
with?
had 3 brothers, so I was one of 4 boys.
Okay,
Yeah.
which one are you?
I'm number 3.
Yeah. Like I said. Yeah, makes all the sense in the world.
Yep.
Okay, so something else that I read about you is that you actually went to Campbell University.
Yep.
I almost went there. I went to NC State just down the road.
That was a good decision.
Thanks. I graduated, so it worked out.
Yeah.
And then you also played a sport there.
I did. Yeah.
Tell us what sport and what position.
I played soccer. I was a goalkeeper for Campbell, and I always kind of joke that I probably was not Division I caliber. I did have some great moments and some highlights, which was awesome, but I ended up getting injured at the end of my sophomore season, so
What
that took me
happened?
out. But I had a blood clot in my shoulder
Oh my gosh.
underneath my clavicle bone, and I remember sitting in the doctor. My arm had blown up, and I remember sitting in the doctor's like, "What am I? Am I 85 years old? Like a blood
Yeah.
clot? I'm a healthy 20-year-old
Right.
athlete, Division I
Right.
athlete." And they said, "No, this is actually just a strictly athletic injury that we see, but it was right in the subclavian vein, a 7-centimeter long clot." And so they were going to have to go in there and take out ribs and all this crazy stuff. And we said, you know what, let's just move on from this chapter of life.
Right.
So it was hard to get sidelined, but it was all in God's plan.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you get to the point where, so I ran track at NC State, and you start to get to the point where you're like, all right, I've come as far as I can.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be Olympians.
Yeah.
I need to go ahead and just call it a day,
Yeah.
And so similar thing to me too. I ended up having to get out because of injuries and just, call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is that you then transfer that energy somewhere else.
Yes.
Right. Because as a collegiate athlete, your time, every single second of your day is calculated.
Yeah.
Right. Everything's accounted for. And so I think it's just a great lesson for life. And so that was my question is then where did you direct that energy afterwards? Don't answer.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to talk about what Bryce Kenny did with all that energy at Campbell University. You're listening to the Jill Berlin Show on WSJS News Talk Sports for the Triad.
There's something you give, yet it's something that can be taken. Something you spend, yet something you don't have enough of. It's not money, it's time. And in News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS will help you make the most of it. News, weather, sports, information. Time is on your side on News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.
Here comes Duke.
It's loose at the 40 and the Blue Devils have it.
Attack the day.
Picked off. He'll high step it in. A knockout blow.
Blue Devil football.
They come after the punt and they got it. And the Blue Devils are going to take over at their own 42.
Follow the action all season long on your home for Duke football.
Touchdown! And the Blue Devils have the lead.
WSJS.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Football is back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, has you covered. New customers can bet $5 on football and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Plus, all customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the code ROME, R-O-M-E, bet just $5, and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets. That's code ROME, only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be present in state where lawful to wager. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions to apply.
It's the blue and gold of North Carolina A&T. Aggie Pride.
Down the left sideline. He's gone.
This Saturday, your North Carolina A&T Aggies visit the Elon Phoenix.
They ain't going to catch him.
Pregame starts at 5:30, kickoff at 6.
Touchdown, Aggies.
Follow North Carolina A&T football all season long on our sister station, AM 1400 and 103.5 FM, The Light, powered by Tobacco Road Sports Radio.
Wake up, it's Triad Today with Jeffrey Griffin.
And welcome back. I'm Jill Berlin. You're listening to the Jill Berlin Show on WS News Talk Sports for the Triad. And we are here with Bryce Kenny. And he is the founder of Live Like Warriors. You've also probably seen him at Monster Jam. He's the driver of the Great Clips Warrior Mohawk truck. All right. So we were just talking about how Bryce was at Campbell University. He played soccer. He sustained an injury. By the way, goalie. That hurts. That position just hurts.
Yeah.
All right. So what did you do? Where did you go from there?
Well, to be honest, I shifted all of that energy and kind of shifted gears into my career into motorsports. And I always knew that I wanted to ultimately be in motorsports. And so that was kind of the chance to really make a run at it. Mm-hmm. Well, I went into it. It was a Top Fuel dragster, which are the long, skinny cars that people may have seen on TV that go 300 miles an hour in 4 seconds. Mm-hmm. So I was doing that for a couple of years. And so
why get a college degree? Why not just go right into that?
Well, to me, it was the chance to kind of get a real life experience in the world and really kind of live out my dream for that. My grandfather started the team, and he started back on old abandoned airstrips back in the 60s. Mm-hmm. And so I saw the platform that he had through motorsports. Mm-hmm. And that's why my dream was always to make an impact through that platform with motorsports. And so I tried my hand at Top Fuel. I was going to be a professional drag racing driver. That was it. Went through it 3 years, worked my guts out, 7 different jobs at one time, just trying to afford to keep it out there and keep it all alive. And I failed.
Yeah.
And so we sold the team, and I even went to my grandfather. I said, look, don't keep this for me. Sell it. And if I'll do what you did, if it takes me 40 years, look, the circumstances of my life does not change the calling of my life. And that was really where I was at that point. I said, look, whatever the circumstances are, if it's a time thing, it takes me 40 years to get back out here, so be it. But I'll go and create, wealth and the type of income to be able to be a team owner. I don't care. I just know what I want to ultimately do. I don't have a timestamp on it. And so I went out there, like I said, and went into corporate America. I was placing CFOs and CEOs into private equity backed companies, as strange as that sounds. So I went from Top Fuel drag racing, executive recruiting back to Monster Jam. And I know we don't have time to talk about the whole story about how I got into Monster Jam, but I in the midst of that corporate career and looking back, I really needed it. That was almost finding a whole family comes first gear for me. Mackenzie and I, we got married, we bought a home, we started our family. And in that point, I really thought that my dream had died. But all of a sudden, 4 years into that, I get a call from Monster Jam. And they said, do you want to go to Monster Jam University? Real place, Jill. They gave me a diploma and everything.
What does the diploma look like?
It looks like a real diploma.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of like, we're kind of stretching on this just a little bit.
I didn't know if it was a wheel or something.
No, that would have been great.
Yeah.
See, I would have kept it then. I'm afraid I threw it away. I don't know where the diploma is because I kind of thought it was ridiculous. But I did graduate from there.
I'm sure you can get another one.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just going to make my own. I'm going to make a steering wheel. That's a great idea.
Thanks. I'm good at marketing.
There you go.
All right. So let me ask you this. All right. So real quick, before we talk about what you're doing this weekend, so every segment with the Jill's Hero segment, we talk about who is your favorite superhero. So who's yours?
I would say Batman.
Oh.
And the reason I would say that is I do love the bat signal.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, he's one of the only superheroes that he has to respond when the call goes out.
Yeah.
And that's what I think a superhero really is all about. I think that's what any hero is really all about. You see a need, you fill a need. You see the bat signal go up and you make the conscious decision to go into superhero mode.
Right.
And I think all of us have to do that. And that's what I love Batman for.
Yeah. Well, and I bet when Mackenzie calls you on the bat phone, you're like, I got to get this call.
Yes.
All right. So this weekend, real quick, tell us what's going on. Live Like Warriors, this pediatric cancer fundraiser. It's free for the community event. And your goal, what is your goal?
My goal is to have the biggest pediatric cancer pediatric cancer fundraiser in the history of the Triad.
So how much money do you want to raise?
Well, I know we're going to raise $100,000, right? I really, truly believe that. But here's the really cool thing.
How much goes to the family?
100%.
100%.
Yep. That's what we started my nonprofit because I got tired of giving money and not knowing where it went.
Yes.
Or where only 10% goes to actual cause. I think that's outrageous.
It is.
And so when someone donates $20 will end up filling a need. And I say pediatric cancer, it really could be anybody that's going through a hard time that we want to help and support. But we talk about a bat signal. One of the things that's going to come out of this day from the Warrior Rally is building up my warrior chain. I've got a vision of 5,000 people, part of my warrior chain, where that is my bat signal. I put it up in the sky. I say, guys, we found a need. We got to go fill this need. And it's going to give people the opportunity to get off the sidelines, to go and be a superhero. And we're going to make a coordinated effort as a volunteer army to go and change people's lives and fill those specific needs. So part of that day being a success is not just what we financially raise, but it's actually getting as many people part of that warrior chain as we can. And it's simply just an email sign up through us. And you can actually do it right now at livelikewarriors.com at my website. And you can sign up for our warrior chain right there as well.
All right. That's what I was going to say. That is this Saturday, starting at 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Live Like Warriors. It is in Kernersville, Triad Baptist Church. Bryce, thank you so much for being here with us. We really appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me. What a blast. It's an honor to be on the Jill Berlin Show.
Hey, no problem. All right. So we are going to end, as we always do, with our positive quote, and it is by Dr. Maya Angelou. You are the sum total of everything you've ever seen, heard, eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all there. Everything influences each of us. And because of that, I try to make sure that my experiences are positive. Isn't that a great quote?
That's good. Oh.
I know. It's so true.
Yep. That's fuel in the fuel tank right there.
It really is. And it's kind of like what you were saying, you had a path and you were going to do it and then it didn't work out. So you readjust but it all comes together in the end.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't waste your pain. Get something from what you've been through.
And then lose your certificate from Monster
That's right.
University. All right, you all. Thank you so much for listening. We so appreciate you. You've been listening to the Jill Berlin Show on WSJS News Talk Sports for the Triad. For Christian Snyder and Gray Brendel, I'm Jill Berlin. Until next week.
The WSJS High School Football Game of the Week.
3 simple letters. 1,
magical word. W-I